Welcome to another edition of Rod's Tabletop Hoops. We are back here again with Crunch Time Basketball. And the topic of discussion really is going to be what I brought up in my last video was total field goal attempts per team per game. And it has been a problem not necessarily just in crunch time, almost every, I'd say 80% plus of tabletop basketball board games struggle getting the team field goal attempts per game semi-accurate. A lot of games, and I will throw a couple up there, Status Pro and Stratomatic, while they do have pace and possession on those player cards, many of the games you're going to play in those games, just playing standard and not using the fast break too often are going to be between 85 and 95 field goal attempts per game. And of course that varies per team and per era. So if you're playing, say, a team from the 1970s, somehow in Stratomatic, they don't sell a lot of paper cards anymore from that era, but Status Pro, you can certainly get copies for that. You can easily expect an 85 to 95 field goal attempts per game, which works fantastic for the 1970s. The 1970s was dead by the middle of the 1970s. Teams were shooting 91, 92, 93 shots per game, even less, a little bit more. Early portion of the 1970s, it was more closer to a 96, 97, 98. So, but the problem is that they just don't adapt to different eras very well. As a matter of fact, I can name probably just 4 games that can consistently hit the mark no matter what era of game you're playing. And one of them is kind of a tricky one because I haven't played a lot of it. But Fast Break by Mickey Games, that game is number 1. That it always adjusted to the amount of shots per game. Number 2, I would have to say Hoops Tabletop Pro Basketball by Mark Vasilio, the most accurate basketball game on the marketplace today. That one adjusts so well. It also has a great ball distribution plan, gets the ball to the right players as well. And then, of course, number 3, I'm going to say Replay Basketball. And I noticed just within a limited number of games how they adjust those shots based on how often those players in the lineup pass. I am pretty sure they are very good at getting the field goal attempts per game correct. And the 4th one, and that'll be a topic of this video, is, of course, PTG Basketball and its built-in game clock, which is based on shots per game. So naturally, by playing a game of PTG Basketball, which is no longer being printed, but it's still around, began in the 1960s and lasted until about 1980, but the Keith had sold the game for quite a number of years up until last year. And amazingly, this little game clock where you move the clock one move on every field goal attempt only, not free throw attempt, makes the original seasons and most of the seasons for PTG Basketball fairly accurate in terms of field goal attempts. And following in line with the field goal attempts, you get the field goal attempts right, the foul drawing should be correct, so you get the right amount of free throw attempts. And the other big stat, of course, with that is the rebounds. So the missed free throws cause rebounds, the missed field goal attempts, the additional ones create accurate rebounds. So today, I've got this game set up right here between the 1967-68 Baltimore Bullets and the 1967-68 Detroit Pistons. These are 2 mediocre teams, but roughly the same. Bullets won 36 games, Pistons won 40 games. They've got the recognized scoring leader in Dave Bing. Even though Oscar Robertson technically averaged more points, he only played 65 games, and I think they wanted at least 70 games to qualify for the leaderboard. I don't know. I think in some circles they still give that scoring title to Oscar Robertson. But either way, good for Dave Bing getting a scoring title. And so this team has got a lot of pretty good players. There's a Hall of Famer in Dave DeBuscher and Dave Bing, of course. And, of course, you go over to the Bullets, and they've got Gus Honeycomb Johnson and longtime coach Kevin Lockery, Ray Scott, who's still around, Earl the Pearl Monroe. This is a rookie, Earl the Pearl, so you know this will be a pretty good game. But for this particular game, I'm going to use the aforementioned PTG game clock for 4 quarters. Now, I'm going to play the whole game. I'll get it down to about 5 minutes left, and you and I will carry on to the final buzzer to see who wins this game and it is the first of a triple header of games, because game number 2, which I'm not going to name at the moment, will be an ABA matchup, my 69-70 ABA season of Crunch Time. And we're going to change up the rules because Bradley Logan, the creator of Crunch Time, has instructed me on some workarounds to not have to change the game clock or the card, the way I utilize the time action cards. And he and Gustav have come up with a possible solution of having a shot taken or attempted on offensive rebounds. So you get an offensive rebound, say offensive number 2 forward is Gus Johnson. Johnson gets it, you roll the dice to shoot right off that. Many games, including hoops and even Stratomatic. There are a lot of games that have an automatic offensive rebound putback following a missed shot and an offensive rebound. So we're going to do that. In addition, on a fast break on a rebound, say the defensive guard gets it, the choice player may fast break, but Gustav and Bradley say have it be a guard. I guess it's your choice of Earl Monroe or Lockery to even out the number of shots taken. So game 2 will be played that way. Game 1 is just going to have the clock and the usual rules that were provided. Now, I noticed that the Pistons and the Bullets both averaged about 102 field goal attempts per outing. So what we're going to do is we're going to play the normal clock, but we need at least, 2 extra shots over the course of a full game. So maybe in the first and the third quarter, I'm just going to add an extra clock move so we can get close to that number. And we'll see how accurate it is, see how the game flows, see if it takes a lot more time. And then, like I said, game 2, we're going to use an ABA set of teams, get it down to 5 minutes. I will show you the end of that game. And it'll be offensive rebound putbacks, and on fast break rebounds, you choose a guard. So I might use the conservative pace ratings as well that Gustav has provided me. Game 3 will be another NBA matchup from 67-68. I will name the teams when I get to that game, so it'll be a little bit of a surprise. We'll get it down to 5 minutes left and play out the final 5. But in that game will be a little bit different yet, because Gustav has provided me with some modified pace ratings. He had given me ratings. Let's see. Here's the Bullets +1 on the Pistons over here. But based on my results in a couple games, he has modified those and updated those amount of for pace. And so for each quarter, instead of +1s for these teams, the award for the Baltimore is +4, and Detroit, I believe, is +4 as well. So we're going to use those ratings in lieu of the original +1s. And so this will just be making a modification to the pace. So both Gustav's pace solution and the Gustav Bradley Logan solution utilizing offensive rebound putbacks and fast breaks will be in play. We will analyze all 3, see which one works the best, see which one creates the most accurate stats. Granted, this is only one game at a time, but we will definitely see some differences than we have in the prior Crunch Time game. So I'm looking forward to this. Stay tuned, and we'll have the closing minutes of the Bullets and the Pistons from 1968. 6 minutes remain in this game between the 68 Baltimore Bullets and the 68 Detroit Pistons. Experimentation number 1 with the PTG time clock I recommended in my last video. I mean, I had not used it, so I'm testing it right now to see how it works, and I'm getting some interesting results so far. We're not going to get deep into those details till after the game. This game's been kind of a wild scoring game. Bullets have 125 points already, Pistons 118. Of course, the Pistons gave up 120 points per game that year, which is one of the worst defensive teams in the league, so that makes some sense. But one thing I'm finding, I've got the Bullets at this juncture hitting 60% from the field, and the Pistons hitting 53.8% from the floor. So we're getting a lot of hot shooting by both teams and a little bit of poor defense by both teams. So these teams as I mentioned earlier, 36 wins for the Bullets, 40 wins for the Pistons. I want to note that there was the final meeting between these guys in real life. The Pistons and Bullets played a game on February 24th, 1968 in Baltimore. And it was game number 68 for the Pistons, 69 for the Bullets. And the Bullets ended up winning 140 to 132. So that's looking more like what's going to happen right here. We'll see how the shooting goes, but it looks like we're going to get at least 130 points out of these teams, which is not atypical. It wasn't their average. I think most of the games were in the 110 to 120 range, but it shows that there's always an outlier, and maybe that's what we got here. Or maybe my method of getting the field goal attempts a little bit closer is a little flawed with my PTG solution for the game clock, but maybe not. I've got a good number of shots, obviously, because I'm playing exactly shot for shot here. And it's been one of those games where it's a balance of scoring. Earl Monroe has 27 points on 12 of 18. 18 points for Gus Honeycomb Johnson and 15 boards. He averaged about 14 rebounds a game that year, as you can see on his card. 13 a game, and that includes some playoffs. No, they didn't make the playoffs, so that's his regular season stats. He played 60 games, one of his final healthy years. For the Pistons, it's nightmarish start for both Dave Bing and Dave DeBusschere. DeBusschere's only 4 of 13. Bing had a slow start, but has since rebounded to be 9 of 20 from the floor, 19 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists for the league's official leading scorer. So the Bullets have the ball. They got a 7-point lead. We're going to see how this thing plays out. Let's go. Crunch time basketball. All right. And once again, I'm going to play all the regular rules, except I'm using the game clock from PTG basketball. Let's see how this works. And see, this will not count as a possession or a clock move. It is a turnover by Leroy Ellis. And I'm going to give the ball right to Strouder, and I'm going to let Strouder go. And that's an 8, and that's a miss. So unless there's something changing it here, that is definitely a clock move. Number 2 ball handling is Bing. His ball handling is a 2, so he turns that miss into a make. So Dave Bing, wheeling and dealing. Strouder has 5 fouls, so he's kind of had a rough game. So we'll see if he can survive the rest of this game. There have been quite a few fouls in this game. I've got about 23 and 26 fouls. It's not too far off from the league averages, though. So Strouder hits it on the thank you note from Dave Bing. We got a 5-point game. And the ball's going to go to the center. That's Leroy Ellis. That's a 4. That's going to be a pass, which is a defensive foul for an F fouler. Well, Strouder avoids that, so he's only a D. He did foul out of 18 games, though. I think he also got suspended by the team. I had to verify why that happened. Number 1 guard. The Pearl. And that's a 12, and that's a miss. Yep. If it's a D or an F on Walker, his defense is a D, so it's going to be a made shot by Earl Monroe. I may have to get Eddie Miles in there right away. That makes it 127-120. Timeout at the 5:30 mark. Got to put in Eddie Miles. All right, Eddie Miles is out. Jimmy Walker comes out after 24 minutes of action, I believe. And I'm going to say he hit 7 of 11 from the floor, 6 of 7 from the line. Also assisted on 8 different plays. So this guy played a very effective bit of ball handling. And he was, I believe, maybe the number 1 pick in the draft. I'm not certain on that, but once again, a good game. He only hit 40% from the field if you include playoff action. So he's definitely going to get better than this. Oh, also another thing. The Pistons have 2 guys who were traded during the season, and so I did not have these guys suit up. These would be early season guys, 55 games and 50 games with the Pistons, but they were traded, and I believe Happy Harrison was involved in one of those trades with Cincinnati or something of that nature. So very productive, reserves, and Tresvant was actually a pretty good starter, but they're not playing for the Pistons. For the Bullets, veteran Don Ohl, he got traded during the year as well, so 39 games in. So I'm playing a late season game, not an early season game, so maybe in the future I'll play those guys. But it's still cool that Gustav created a card for every player who played in a single game. Oh, my other thing I was going to show you prior to was George Carter. Carter he played exactly one game with the Pistons, and he eventually went to the ABA and did a fine job, and was a great small forward and a shooting guard. And I noticed he made 100% of his free throws. So I look in the free throw column, and all it says is bingo. So anyway, well done by Gustav there. Here comes Joe Strotter. Okay, Pistons ball. Let's go. Number 2 forward. That's DeBusschere. Gets the ball, and that's a 5. Looks like it's going to be a miss, but no, it's not, because there's a defensive foul on Gus Honeycomb Johnson. 2 shots for DeBusschere. It's 5-9. Makes it. 7 makes them both. Those are huge free throws. Pistons back within 5 points. DeBusschere's in double digits with 11. Number 1 guard. Earl, the Pearl 12. Miss. Oh, another defensive foul. So it's not going to be a miss. It's going to be a 2-shot foul. Defender is Eddie Miles. That's 3. And the Pearl. 2 and 4-9. Good. Good. Earl, the Pearl. First man to 30. Of course, as a rookie, he's 24.3. Very good rookie. And here comes the Pistons trying to make a comeback late. Number 1 guard, Eddie Miles. 7. That's registered as a shot. So that'll definitely be a shot. And the number 2 forward has to be a 7's a basket. DeBusschere is good enough ball handler to not screw him up. He's not in the made or the miss category. So give a hoop to Eddie Miles, who just came back in. He's actually had a good game. Just had such a great game from Walker. I didn't know who to play. 20 points, leading scorer, tied with Jimmy Walker. 20. That's a lot of points out of the shooting guard slot. Miles and Walker. 129, 124. Centra. Here comes Ellis with a 6. That's a miss. Yep, it's an official miss by Leroy Ellis in his 6th year. I love the fact they put the year, how many years they've played. Defensive number 2 guard. It's going to be Dave Bing, who's working toward a triple-double here. He's got the rebound. He's going to try to run the fast break. Gets a 1, though. It's offensive charging. Unfortunate. So the Pistons turn it over. I've taken the press off for the second half. I ran the press the entire first half. I think it ran up the fouls and the free throws a bit, so we took the press off. Forward, Ray Scott. Not shooting the ball great. There's a miss right there, unless the center ball handling is a C, which it is. Ray Scott scores. Thank you to Leroy Ellis. Oh, 131, 124. Correct. Number 1 guard, Miles. 4. Miss. If the number 2 guard has at least a AA, which Bing does, Miles puts it in. There's some good ball handling here. It's resulting in some high shooting. 55% for the Pistons, 60% for the Bullets. A lot of high shooting. We'll see what happens in game 2. See if the shooting stays hot in that game. Ball goes to the center. Ellis, that's a 5. That's a pass. Pass is defensive foul. And it's going to be on Happy. And Happy's got 3 fouls. That's the 5th team foul. So the center, Leroy Ellis, gets 2 shots. 8. Good. 5. No good. $132, $126 Free throw for the rebound, and I give an extra letter grade to the defensive team on that rebound. Offensive number 2, it's Gus. He is a B rebounder. Defensive number 2, DeBuscher, also a B. Make him an A for the rebound on a missed free throw, because free throws should 90% of the time plus be to the defensive rebounding team. And so DeBuscher has 6 boards. Average is a little more than that. Average is 13.7. I don't know if it's because I'm playing at a smaller forward spot. I have no idea. Still time. Offensive number 2 guard, Dave Bing, and that's an 8. That's a 2-point field goal. Whoops, I did not mean to do that. Why did I put my rebound? That was a mistake. Number 2 forward gets an 8, and that's a pass. Offensive number 1 guard, that's Eddie Miles. Brain fart. Oh, I got the rebounding cards in here. This is weird. Nope. Number 1 guard, turnover. Possession to Monroe. That was a little error. I wonder if I got more rebounding. I don't know what I'm doing right now. Turnover by Eddie Miles. Ball goes to Earl. Earl rolls the 9. That's a 2-point field goal. Yep. It could be a 2-pointer. Unless the number 1 forward is a bad ball handler. He's not. Monroe scores. Sorry about the rebounding errors. Turnover Monroe. I mean, I could have just instinctively grabbed from that pile. I don't remember doing that, though. So 2 more points for the Bullets. All goes to Joe Strotter, not an offensive threat. Oh, man, what was my time left? All right, knocking that timepiece is one of the few things you could do to hurt a game, but I just did some backwards math. We're roughly at 445, depending on how many shots we're supposed to have. We're roughly 100 or 101, 102 shots per team. So I'm going to just put us at 445, and Joe gets a 9, which is a pass, which is a charging foul, and Joe Strotter has fouled out of the game. Okay, Len Chappelle comes into the game. He's actually having a good game at 15 points and 7 boards. He actually shot 51% from the floor. But unfortunately, they turn the ball over, and it's 134-126 Bullets with the ball and the lead. Gus with a missed shot. Rebound. Offensive number 1 versus defensive number 2. We got a D and a D, and Dave Bing grabs another board. He's got quite a few boards in this one. 19 points, 9 rebounds, 8 unofficial assists. Ball goes to the number 2 forward. I like using the press suggestion. The number 2 forward is Dave DeBuscher. That's a 7. That's a pass, defensive foul if he's a D or F. Nope. Going to pass the ball. Number 2 forward, Dave DeBuscher. 6. That's a 2-point field goal. And a defensive foul on Gus Johnson. So that is 3 fouls on Gus Johnson. 2-pointer for DeBuscher, who's slowly rebounding from a slow start. 13 points, 6 rebounds now. That's the 4th team foul on the Bullets, so it's just 1 attempt for Dave to cut this lead even closer. And he does. Hall of Famer Dave DeBuscher, final full season in Detroit. It's 134-129. Don't count out the Pistons. Oops, that's not where I want to go. I did naturally do that, didn't I? Okay. Choice number 2 forward, Gus Johnson. 5. Miss. And the defense is F. Note, DeBuscher's a B, and he's usually better than that. So a miss by Honeycomb, who has 4 in the second half after 14 points in the first half. Rebound. Defensive number 1, Happy. Let's try and run this fast break. That's a 5. Player card, Happy all the way. 8. 2-point field goal. Good. Harrison with 17 points and 8 boards. It's 134-131. Love running that break. It says choice player. I always just give it to the guy who grabbed the rebound for some reason. So that's just the way I've been playing. Number 1 guard, turnover. Unless he's a AAA, it's a turnover for Monroe. Another break for Detroit. Eddie Miles gets the swipe. Goes all the way. 6. Miss. If the number 1 forward ball handler has a B, nope. It's going to be a miss for Miles. See what the rebounding says. Offensive number 2, DeBuscher's a B. Defensive number 1, Ray Scott, A rebounder. One heck of a boardsman. They got him A on defense and A on rebounding. Gustav's ratings. That's quite potent. Goes to the center. Leroy Ellis trying to close out strong. 8. That's a miss. Unless the number 2 forward has at least a B on ball handling. He does not. So missed by Ellis. He has 12 points. Rebound goes to the number 1, offensive number 1 versus defensive number 1. Looks like Ray Scott's going to grab that offensive rebound. Bullets retain possession. Hand it back to Leroy. They want Leroy to come through. That's a 12. That's a pass. Defensive foul if he's a C, D, F. Yes, foul. Len Chappelle. The veteran picks up foul number 5. So Pistons will be down to some other reserve center. That is 16 fouls. And so 2 shots for Leroy Ellis. Miss. Make. So Leroy comes through with 1. 13 points, 8 boards. His averages are 12.4 and 11 boards. So see how this works out. 135-131. Number 2 guard, Dave Bing, scoring king. That's a 2-pointer. At the 3-minute mark, Dave Bing scores. 21 points for Dave. It's 135-133. Offensive. Oh, whoops! I'm doing it again. I'm turning the wrong deck. Number 2 guard. It is Kevin Lockery, and Lockery's going to go up 10. That's a miss, but there's a defensive foul on Bing. 4 on Dave Bing. And 3 to make 2 for Kevin Lockery. 2, he makes it. 6, he makes it. Lockery with 19 in the game. He averaged 16 on the season. Down to just 3 minutes left. Uh-oh, center, turnover. Chappelle can't hang on to it. Leroy Ellis grabs it and goes. 7, 2-point field goal. Yeah, made. Leroy Ellis. All right. 139, 133. We are in the 130s, folks. Number 2 guard, Bing. 3 is a miss. If the ball handling is at least a B by the number 2 forward, it is not. And Bing misses. He's had a strong second half, though. Let's grab a rebound here. Offensive number 2. Bing grabs his own board. Number 2 guard turnover unless he's a double A, and he is. 8. That's a 2-point field goal. And DeBuscher will not stop him from making it with his ball handling of C. So Bing will score. Bing is doing a little bit of everything right now. He's up to 23 points, 10 rebounds, and unofficial 8 assists for the Binger. What did Bing average on the boards? About 4.7. So he's a good rebounding guard. 139, 135, not giving up. Ray Scott, 10. That's a miss by Ray. Rebound, defensive center, Lenny Chappelle. Pistons trying to keep shooting hot here. Number 1 guard is Eddie Miles. That's a 9. That's a pass. Defensive foul if he's a C, D, or F. Nope. Going to pass the ball. Number 1 forward. Happy. 10. Miss. Unless the center ball handling's much better. Nope. Happy, no good. Rebound. Jump ball. Leroy, 4. Chappelle, 4. Leroy, 2. Chappelle, 4. Pistons. Retain. Happy, 3. Miss. No, he is fouled by Ray Scott. That's 2 on Ray. 5th team foul. And so it's going to be 3 to make 2 for Happy Hairston. These are big. 6. Good. 70.7. 4. Makes them both. Happy Harrison has 19 in the game. Everybody's scoring in this game. It's 139, 137. We got 2 minutes on the clock. Number 1, Ray. 3. Miss by Scott again. Only 9 today for Ray. 11 boards. Guy averages 16.4. Rebound, defensive team rebound. All the team rebounds today have gone to the Pistons. 3 on the offense, 1 on the defense. 4 team rebounds. And that was the huge one. Number 1 forward, Happy, 11. 2-point field goal, yes! Hairston and Bing are bringing the team back. 139s. Holy cow. Number 2 guard, Lockery. 5. That's a miss, but no, it's a foul on Dave Bing. His 5th. 5 fouls on Bing. So it's 2 shots, 3 to make 2 for Lockery. 3, no. 4, yes. 11, no. He makes only 1 out of 3. So the Bullets hit the 140 mark. Scoreboard can't handle it. Rebound, offensive high +1. Well, it's one of these Bs. And it doesn't matter which one it is because the defensive high is Ray Scott. And I always give them an extra point on the rebounds anyway. Scott grabs the rebound. Oh, wait. That was on a free throw. Let me take that back. The offensive high gets 1, so it's a double A, and I can't get anybody up to a double A. So it is Ray Scott. It certainly is for Baltimore. Yeah, he's the only guy that can actually grab that rebound with a plus another A. So he does grab the rebound, even if I gave an A to these other players. So Bullets do retain possession. Ball goes to Gus. 5. That's a miss. He's missed 4 in a row in this period. Rebound, offensive number 1, A for Ray. Number 2 is a B. So Ray Scott keeping the ball in play. Number 1 guard. So take us down to the minute mark, 11. Oh, it's a pass, actually. Defensive foul, B. Yep, foul on Miles. 4 on Eddie Miles. And Earl the Pearl Monroe. 2 shots. 5. Good. 12, no good. Let's check the rebound this time. Offensive center, defensive center. B, B. And we got ourselves Chappelle. I'd probably give him an A for the rebounding of a missed free throw. Number 1 forward, Happy. Is he happy? 5, miss. Defensive DRF, nope, miss by Hairston. 1 minute to play. Offensive second high. Offensive second high, well, they're all Bs. Versus defensive second high. Gus Johnson and Ellis battle. So we'll give it to Leroy Ellis in this case. And the Bullets want to play the clock down, probably. Ball goes to number 2 forward. Gus, 7. Pass. I'm not pressing, so I'm just going to pass. Number 1 forward. Ray Scott, 5. That is a miss. Yep, missed by Ray. He's gunning it a lot. 2 for 7 in the quarter. Pistons down to 56.5 from the floor. Pistons 55.2. Rebound this time. Offensive team rebound. Bullets retain with a 2-point lead. Number 1 forward with a turnover. Ray Scott throws it away. Happy Hairston swipes the ball. And he's trying to run down the court here with a shot. 7. Pass, turnover if ball handling C, D, F. Yes, turnover Happy. Back to the Bullets. Gus, 4. That's a miss. Yep, DeBusschere defends it well. 0 for 5 in the period for Gus. Not ending on a good note at this moment. Rebound, defensive. Oh, whoops, wrong pile. They got to label these stacks. Offensive number 2. Gus Johnson keeps it alive. Gives it to Ray. 9, 2-pointer. Has to be insured by Gus Johnson, though. Ball handling's good enough. Ray Scott. Keep shooting, Ray. 143, 139. Not much time left here. Happy. 3. Miss. Defense DNF. Nope. Good defense by Scott. He's doing the things it takes to sneak out a ball game. Rebound. This high-scoring affair is almost over. Defensive number 1. Ray Scott dominating the boards today with his 14th, even though Gus has 16. Number 1, Ray, 6. Pass. Charging foul, Ray Scott. His 3rd foul. Still some time left. Number 2 forward. DeBusschere goes in, 7. Pass. It's going to be a pass because I'm not pressing. Number 1 guard, Eddie Miles, 5. 2-point field goal. Has to be insured by DeBusschere, and it's good. Miles hits. .143, 141. We have approaching the 10-second mark. A turnover by Kevin Lockery, unless he is a double A? Nope, he's not. Turnover Lockery. Taken by Bing. Bing's going to go. 8. 2-pointer. The number 1 forward cannot screw it up, and he does. It's a D. Happy Hairston. Not a good enough ball handler to give Bing that basket. Game-tying basket that would have been. Rebound. Offensive number 1, Happy. We're coming down to the final play. Center, Len Chappelle, has had a good offensive game. 7. Pass. Turnover if ball handling F. No. Center, it's going to be Len. They're giving it back to him. 11. 2-point field goal. If the defense is an A, double A, or a B, defense is a B. Shot missed. Great defense by Leroy Ellis, stopping Len from scoring. Wow, did not see that coming. Did not realize Leroy Ellis was a B defender. What a stop right there. And that could do it. We'll see what happens on the board here. Defensive number 2 grabs the rebound, Gus Johnson, and the clock runs out. Final score, Baltimore Bullets, 143. Detroit Pistons, 141. How close are we on stats? Did I get my field goals right? I think I did. I got 109 field goal attempts for Detroit. I got 94 attempts for the Bullets. So what is that? That's 203. So I'm pretty darn close on the field goal attempts. Free throw attempts, 51 attempts for the Bullets, 34 for the Pistons. So the Bullets are a little bit high on the free throws. The Pistons a little high on the field goal attempts, but that happens. If you balance it out, my field goal attempts are about right. My free throw attempts might be just a tad high. And I did press for about 24 minutes of this game. So maybe I need to just be more selective on the press, perhaps. Who knows? But the leading scorer is Earl, the Pearl Monroe, 14 of 20. The Pistons weren't stopping much of anything as the Bullets finished at 56% from the floor. They also took 51 free throws. Kevin Lockery with 20 on 6 of 10. Leroy Ellis, 15 points, 9 boards. Gus Johnson, 18 points, 17 boards. And Ray Scott didn't shoot well, 5 of 17, but he had 14 rebounds and some good defensive plays as well. Pistons, they were led by 4 guys who had at least 20 points. Eddie Miles, 24, snuck in the scoring lead on 12 of 15. Earl wasn't playing much defense on him. Dave Bing, 11 of 24, 23 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists. Dave DeBuscher, just 5 of 14 from the floor, 4 of 5 from the line, 14 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Happy, not a good ball handler, had 5 turnovers in addition to his 21 points on 9 of 20, 9 rebounds. Len Chappell, 15 off the bench, 6 of 11 and 9 boards. Jimmy Walker, 20 points on 7 of 11, assisted on 8 different plays, so he had quite a good game. And Terry Dissinger threw in 14 points in 21 minutes as well. So this is quite a good game. The relative accuracy, I would say, is superior to my prior games, despite the high score, just for the fact that I got the field goals correct. Rebounds, 57 to 51, is far more reflective of the era. I think both teams average in the 60s, but I'll take something in the 50s versus being in the 40s for most of my other games. Let's see, free throw attempts, probably just a tad high. Field goal attempts right on the money, just naturally. The Pistons had a 49-point second quarter, and the Bullets had 47 during that same quarter. That was my one odd quarter, very little defense being played. So one game sample using the PTG basketball time clock seems to work reasonably well for one game. Could be entirely different in another, but it does flow okay. The game pace seemed like it bogged down at times. It took me a while to run the clock down on certain quarters, it seemed, because no one would take a field goal. They were passing or they were getting fouled, so there was no attempt, but that is typical of the PTG game clock. Anyway, we're going to move on to method number 2, and it'll be our ABA matchup. Welcome back. 6 minutes to play, and we have a blowout. The Denver Rockets, led by Spencer Haywood's 34 points and 18 boards, lead the Washington Capitals, the no-defense Capitals, 125 to 88. Rick Barry for the Capitals is having about as bad a game as you can have. He's 5 for 20, but I'm going to keep him and Haywood in the game for the final 6 minutes, just for the fun of it. Spencer has been fantastic at 17 for 26. Larry Jones, the guard who averages about 25 points a game, is at 19 points in 30 minutes. He's on the bench. I've got Floyd third in the game and Greg Whitman, a pair of rookies that have not played tonight in the game. We are truly in garbage time. I've also got Henry Logan in for the Caps, Jim Akins, Jumbo in for center Ira Harge, who's had a fantastic game, has kind of kept anything that the Capitals have together. Capitals really struggling from the field at 34 for 100. Checking on the accuracy front, the Capitals have already surpassed the amount of field goal attempts that they average of 95, while the Rockets are probably within about 7 or 8 field goal attempts of their 99 or so average. They have 91 field goal attempts. We're going to press for this last 6 minutes. We're a little low on the free throws. We'll see what happens. I pressed in the first and the third quarters, the entire quarters. Looks like we might need a few more free throws, but we'll see what happens. And let's get going here with two teams going in opposite directions. Capitals, after 33 points in the first quarter, have really struggled with their offensive game. All right, well, they have the ball. Let's go. Henry Logan, star in the championship team when they were the Oaks of 69. An 8 on Logan is a pass. And a pass is a defensive foul for a CDF. It's a foul on Floyd third. Welcome to the game, Floyd. That's the second team foul. 1 shot fouls were taken back in the day. And Logan is not going to make it. Kind of the story of the night. Capitals at 67% from the free throw stripe. Rebound, offensive number 1 forward. B, defensive number 1 forward. C, but what I do on rebounds, on missed free throws, I'll award an extra grade up. I'll give Whitman a B and the rebound because generally you're going to grab all the rebounds. But anyway, we're playing this game as noted with the offensive rebound on a missed field goal attempt. And on any fast break off a rebound, it has to go to one of the guards. And I just kind of roll a die to see who gets that as well. And I will say one thing, compared to the prior game where I used the time clock, this game flows much smoother. I'm not a fan of my own time clock. And so we'll have one more game after this, and we'll be doing another modification, and we'll see if that game flows even smoother than this. So either way, 125-88. Number 1 forward is Whitman, who hit 393 from the floor. And that's an 8. What a weird roll there. 2-point field goal. Number 1 guard ball handling. Let's see. It's a B, so third does not hurt Whitman's shot there. It is good. And the story of this game has been just porous defense by the Washington Caps. It's now 127-88. Center. We are pressing. It's a 7. It's a miss. Defense F shot made. Spencer Haywood awarded a triple A on that one. That's a little bit amazing to me. No sour grapes here. I enjoy playing these games. But for Rick Barry to get a defensive F and Spencer Haywood to get a defensive triple A, it just boggles me just a little bit. Rebound. Offensive number 2 guard. And that's going to be Logan. Logan was a very good rebounding guard in 68-69 for the Oakland Oaks before they moved to Washington. And he's going to go up with a rebound shot. 7 2-point field goal. And it's good anyway, no matter what happens there. Logan with a rebound basket. 127-90. 37-point lead. Here we go. Ben Warley, 6. That is a miss. Defense D or F. Defense is D or F. The whole team, Barrett. So Ben Warley, the veteran, puts the ball in the hoop. And the Nuggets now lead by 39. Mike Barrett, who started off terribly with a miss, but it's a defensive foul on Warley. 3 team fouls, 1 shot for Barrett. Good. Barrett 7 in this quarter after going 0 for 7 in the second quarter. Rockets come down, give it to Walter. That's a 7 pass. Charging foul, Walt Piatkowski. Walt, second-year pro, having a fantastic game with 17 points and 7 boards. Number 2 forward, Barry, having that off night. 3, that's a 2-pointer, and it is good. Rick Barry just trying to work on pad his stats just a little bit. 129-93, Barry with 13 points and 5 boards. Greg Whitman, 5. That's a miss, but it's fouled by George Carter. So 3 team fouls, 2 shots for Whitman as a shooting foul. That's a 4. Good. Only 53% from the line, but he makes both. Greg Whitman, the rookie. I know very little about Greg Whitman, except he wore number 54. Ran out of jersey numbers, apparently. Number 1 forward is George Carter, who's developing into a super player. Oh, that was 131. Carter, 9 is a miss. Defensive F, it is. George Carter drills it. 4 points for the young man. And George actually filled in for Jabali and Barry when they were hurt. Finished the year at 14-2, including playoffs most likely. So it's 131-95. Here comes the Rockets of Denver. 8, 2-point field goal, and he gives it right back. Bad defense by Carter, and Whitman scores. $133.95. Number 1 guard, Barrett. 6. 2-point field goal. Good, Barrett. Trying to make up for lost time. He filled in. He played a lot of minutes in a lot of games for the Capitals due to all the injuries that they had to Barry and Jabali, among others. Gary Brad's only played in 60 games, the power forward. Number 2, Walt Piatkowski. Son played in the NBA. Eric with great range. Defense DF, yeah, defense shot made. It doesn't even matter. The 8 2-pointer is good. Piatkowski. Who is now tied Larry Jones for second in scoring on the team with 19 points. Carter comes back. 9, that's a miss. If Barry was a better ball handler, he'd make it, but nope. Rebound. Defensive number 1, Greg Whitman, who's come off the bench on fire. 6 points since coming off the bench. Whitman again. He's only 393 from the floor. Pass, defensive foul if it's a D or F. Nope, he's a C. That's a pass. Whitman again, 4, missed shot. He's human. Whitman, no good. Rebound, defensive team. Oaks rebounding pretty well, but they've also missed so many shots, they're going to naturally get more rebounds. 7, pass. Turnover if he's a D or F ball handler, and he is. Carter with the turnover. Ball goes to Floyd, 3rd, the rookie, number 11. That's a miss by Floyd. He's 345 from the floor. Only played in 25 games for the Rockets. Rebounded by offensive high +1. Haywood, I guess, gets 3 offensive rebounds. Spencer. He averaged almost 20 rebounds per game. He gets it, and in this game, we're going up for put-back shots. 2-point field goal. It's good. Spencer Haywood. 36 and 19 are the numbers for Spencer. 137-97, the leads mushroom to 40. Henry Logan, 8. That's a pass. Turnover versus press. Logan will turn it over because I'm pressing for the final 6. Number 2, Walt Piatkowski. 7, pass. Defensive foul. I'll randomize that. Rick Barry, foul number 3. 4th team foul. Piatkowski. 1 shot, 10, no. Rebound on the free throw. Offensive number 1. We got a C. Defensive number 2, Barry, is a C. Goes up to a B for the free throw and corrals that board. Number 2 guard, Logan, 6. Pass, defensive foul. Walt Piatkowski. For Walt, that is 2 fouls. 4 team fouls. 1 shot for Henry Logan, and he can't hit it. Rebound, offensive number 1 guard. Barrett is a D, and the defensive number 1 guard is a D. So Floyd, third, grabs the rebound, hands it off to Spencer, the rookie, playing like a veteran. That's a missed shot by Spencer. Looking for that 20th rebound. No, Jim Akins grabs it. Clock running down. Approaching 2 minutes or so. Mike Barrett, 9. That is a miss by Barrett. Rebound. Offensive center, defensive center. And there you go. Spencer Haywood, rebound number 20. Including playoffs, he averaged 45.6 minutes a game. I'm going to get him about 42 minutes based on what we have right here. Ball goes to Floyd, 9. Pass. Defensive foul. Yes, it's on Logan, his first. 5th team foul. So Floyd with 2 shots. 8. Good. 64%. 5. Good. Floyd, third, is on the board. 2 points. Everybody who's played has scored. 139-97. Caps just looking to crack the 100 mark. That's a 9. 2-point field goal. Good by Barry. He's got 15 points on the night. 139-99. Center Spencer Haywood. 3 2-pointer. It's good. Spencer Haywood, 38. Continues his onslaught. And in the regular season, the Nuggets did reach some pretty high scores at times over the Capitals, although the Capitals competed pretty well despite injuries. And in the playoffs, they played Denver to a 7-game series. The way these teams are geared, though, I do not see the Oaks winning more than 1 out of a series because the defensive ratings are just so low on this team. Number 1 guard, Barrett, looking to get double figures. 11. 3-point field goal is good. 3-pointer for Mike Barrett. He's got 2 3-pointers in the quarter, 12 in the game, and 102 points for the Capitals. About a minute to go. Piatkowski, 5. Missed, but he's fouled by Rick. That's 4 on Rick. I'm having Rick play out the string. And that's going to be 3 to make 2. Good. Piatkowski drills him. Give Piatkowski 21 points. He was on the all-rookie team in 1968-69 with Denver. Ball goes to Rick. 5. 2-point field goal. Rick still, number 1 forward. Please do not have a D. Oh, he's got a D. And Rick's going to miss that one. Yep, ball handling of Carter unfortunately forces Rick to miss. Has not gotten a lot of help from his teammates in this game. Not a lot of good passing forwards that are like at least a C on the team. I should have maybe put Jabali in there instead, but it's this kind of game. Henry Logan, offensive rebound one more time. He's going up, and that's an 8. Pass, defensive foul, and that's a 3. It's on Spencer, his 4th. 5 team fouls, 2 shots for Logan, who can't seem to hit a free throw. Misses the first, misses the second. Logan 0 for 4 from the foul line, and the Caps are just shooting abysmally. 61% from the line. Rebound, defensive number 1. Greg Whitman with the board. Ball handed to the center. Spencer, why not? 3, 2-pointer, number 1 forward. Oh, he's got a D. It's a miss. Unfortunate, just like Barry, not benefiting from his mates. Rebound, Rick. And in nearly 41 minutes, Barry has 7 boards and 15 points. Barry is going to turn the ball over on this particular play to Piatkowski, who's definitely outplayed him, but is also on a much better team defensively. 4, miss for Piatkowski, number 2 guard. Yep, it's a miss. Piatkowski is human after all. Running out of time. Offensive number 1 forward would be Whitman, who's got a C rebound. Defensive number 1 forward, B, is George Carter, corrals that board. His 3rd rebound of the game. Running out of time. Jimbo Akins says 5. That is a pass. Defensive foul, B, C, D, F. Nope. We are out of cards. Time runs out. Final score, and I missed one. Denver Rockets, not Nuggets, Rockets, 143. Capitals of Washington, 102. Quick review of the stats. Capitals shoot just 36.4 from the floor, 19 of 31 from the line, 3 of 8 from threes. They did get off a larger than average 110 shots. It's because they also got 24 offensive rebounds of their 53. Spencer Haywood and company, 20 rebounds for Spencer, 67 rebounds for the Rockets. And that makes sense when your team is missing nearly 70 shots. Ira Harge was my favorite player, even though he only played 24 minutes, 10.7 rebounds, 5 assist-like plays, just was the lone hope for rebounding and everything else. Larry Brown played reasonably well at 17 points. Warren Jabali started hot, lost his jump shot in the middle couple of quarters, finished with 23 to lead the team. Mike Barrett had that 0 for 7 second quarter, but finished 4 for 13 and got 12 points. He averaged closer to 15 on the year, 15.8 including playoffs. And so there it is. Capitals just had a rough game, could not handle the defense of Denver. And the Rockets actually play defense, whereas the Capitals just play no defense. Also for the Rockets, Julian Hammond threw in 9 points, had 9 boards in just half the game. I just kind of said, we're in crunch time. Byron Beck got in foul trouble, just 16 minutes. 7 points, 9 rebounds. Larry Jones, 19 points. Let him sit out the fourth during garbage time. Lonnie Wright, 10 points on 5 for 9. Julius Key, 8 for 11, 16 points, 7 boards. Piatkowski, 6 of 11, 8 of 9 from the line, and 21 points. So there you have it. Game 2 here. I really like the fact there's no clock. I did like that just sped up the pace of play. I was only disappointed with the Washington Capitals' lack of defense, and they just took a game and just were unable to stop Spencer. Were unable to stop half the team on offense. This Denver team was shooting close to, I will say, 72% from the field in the first quarter. They were just unstoppable, and they maintained it into the 60s up till halftime. So bad defense by the one of the worst defensive set of ratings I've ever seen awarded to an NBA or ABA team. These Capitals have all F defenders except for one player, Ira Harge, who has a D. So anyway, we're basically looking at this different style of play. Rebounds and shooting were relatively close, but this game was just an oddball. The pace of play is a little bit different when you have two great teams that take a lot of shots per minute. Capitals, including playoffs, averaged 118.4, gave up 119.5. Well, in this game, they gave up 143. I wouldn't think they'd do that the following game, but based on this terrible defense, you never know. Denver Rockets averaged 116 points a game, gave up 111. They were a little bit better, probably overachieved in that category, as the Caps only hit at 36.4, and we're hitting 29%. They shot like 5 for 31 in quarter number 2. It just was pretty ugly for the Capitals. So moving on to game number 3. 6 minutes to play. Celtics of 1968 lead the 68 Lakers 107-95. This game, as promised, was going to be played with a third method of getting the field goal attempts close, and that is the modified pace ratings presented to me by Gusta online. He sent me an email, and in a nutshell, I kind of just put them on a post-it note there, and it improved, like the Lakers that were -1 are suddenly Lakers +3, and the Celtics that were regularly 0 are +4. So he kind of remodified them to get the field goal attempts correct. And so far, it's working pretty well. I'm at 85 field goal attempts for the Celtics, and they averaged around 98, 99. Let's see what they say, including playoffs. I think they average about 100 or so, and the Lakers average around 98, something of that nature. A review of the stats say they averaged about 102. So, and I don't know if that does not include playoffs either. So, Gusta's stats include playoff action, so maybe they were down to close to 101 or 100. But either way, they're within a reasonable range. Free throws, Lakers are somewhat on pace with 26 attempts. They averaged in the 30s. Celtics also average in the 30s. They only have 20, but sometimes that happens when you're playing against good teams. They just don't foul as much. If you get the average with the rest of the league, that probably will line up just fine. The only disappointment for the Lakers today is Jerry West picked up way too many fouls way too early, and he ended up fouling out in the third quarter after just 24 minutes of play. So Jerry gets a seat on the bench, and future superstar teammate Gail Goodrich has done a very good job in his place. He has a 12.9 average, including playoffs there, but he has dumped in 19 points to lead the Lakers in about 24 minutes of action. So I don't feel like I'm overstepping my bounds with West out. You got to play Gale. They're going to have to come back quickly, though. They're down by 12 with just 6 minutes to play. As I mentioned, the card numbers, so you got a +3 for one team, a +4 for another. So the 60-card 12-minute deck is 67 cards per deck. So it's a smooth transition because we're just playing with the regular rules to crunch time basketball. So we're staying within the spirit of the original rules. We're just adding a few cards per quarter and 7 cards per quarter if that works, depending on the team you're playing. Gustav's got a really good solution here. The prior solution with rebounding offensive, getting offensive putbacks for rebounds, that worked okay as well. Of course, that last game was a blowout with the Caps and the Denver Rockets, so it was just not as enjoyable because of the defensive differences between those two teams. The Rockets play decent defense and the Oaks play no defense. So anyhow, let's get going. Lakers need 12 points to make up in 6 minutes. Archie Clark's been steady. He's 6 for 8. He has 12 rebounds. I don't understand how he's getting so many boards as a point guard at 6'2". The Celtics are being led by the Hall of Famer Bailey Howell, who has 24 points on 10 of 14. They just don't seem to have an answer for him. Bill Russell's having a decent game with 10 points and 12 rebounds, and I credit him with 5 assists. He's got a ball handling rating of B and has bailed out John Havlicek a couple times. Missed shots turned into makes. Hondo's just 8 for 20. He has 18 points, 2 of 3 from the line, but he's one of those guys who plays great defense. Ball handling is A, defense AA, Russell defense AA, and rebounding AA. That makes things really tough. The Celtics are just a little superior in the middle as expected. Lakers had not picked up Will Chamberlain until the following season. And Mel Counts is a solid player out of Oregon State, but the other centers are Erwin Mueller, who actually played reasonably well. I did not even know that. I'm learning things as I play. And there's also Daryl Imhoff, who was an all-star the prior year. But he's a kind of a clumsy offensive player as well. So I'm going with Mel for 6 minutes here, and let's see what happens until he fouls out. He has 4. And it's been a fun game. It's been pretty close most of the way. It was just a 39-27 burst by the Celtics in the third quarter that has made this difference 12 points. Laker ball. Number 2 guard, Archie Clark. That's an 8. And I'm not pressing either for this final 6. I pressed for about half the game, just getting too many turnovers. And I tried to get more free throws, but it's not working. So that's an 8 for Clark. And that's a 2-point field goal. And there's a defensive foul on Sam Jones, who just returned. Sam's got 18. And the Celtics are in team foul number 6. They were having trouble early there. So Archie Clark comes through for the Lakers. 107-97 free throw. 7 is good. 107-98. That's the way to start. 18 points for Clark, who averaged 19-2, including playoffs. Ball goes to Sam Jones, the veteran. 9 miss. No defensive F, so Sammy's going to miss that shot. He had a great third quarter. Sam was 5 for 5, had 11 points. Rebound. Offensive number 2 forward, B. Defensive number 2 forward, B. So rebound, Elgin Baylor, who's had kind of just an average game. They've been feeding the big guys so much for some reason in this game. Elge, he does just 1 foul, 14 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 7 of 17. I've credited him with a couple defensive stops, but yeah, just not having a great game. I say that he has the most shots in the team, so the game engine is working. It's been very subtle, I guess. Elgin gets the ball. 8, a 2-point field goal, and as long as counts is not bad, he's a C, and that's a 2-pointer for Elgin Baylor, and the Lakers get 5 quick points back. This game's kind of been that way. The Lakers will make a run, then the Celtics will make a run. 107-100. Ball goes to Havlicek, who's played a lot of guard this season, and I've had him playing forward and guard, as the greatest swingman in history would do. Havlicek, the 9 is a pass. Pass is a defensive foul on a D or F. Goodrich is a C, so we're keeping this ball in play. Sanders, Satch, miss, but it's fouled. Foul Baylor. Baylor's second foul. 2 team fouls, 2 shots for Sanders, who actually hit a very nice 78.3, and he's making the free throws today. He's got them both. I believe Sanders is 5 for 5 from the line. Big hoop for the Celtics. Ball goes to the number 2 guard. And that's Archie. And that's a 5. That'll be a miss unless number 1 guard ball handling. Yeah, Goodrich is a B. So Clark will still miss. I do like that transition of assists being the ball handling being determinant in making and or missing a shot. Jump ball on the rebound. I'm just going to go with Russell versus Counts. Russell counts. Celtics get the ball back. Sam Jones, 5. That's a miss. If we had poor defense, we would make it, but nope. Missed by Sammy. Defensive number 2, Baylor. Gets the ball to Clark. Archie, 7. 2. Miss. Center ball handling of at least C, and Counts has a C, so Clark gets it. Thanks to Mel Counts. I kind of award an assist there just because it changed the outcome of the play. Kind of gives you a nice indicator at the end, just like I do with my defensive stops. Bailey Howell having a great game. 8. 2-point field goal, good. And it's 111 to 102. I forgot that Laker change there. Ball goes through the center. It says choice. I just picked the 1 versus press. So I'm going to go to Mel Counts. He's going to miss. Mel's getting a lot of shots today. Rebound. Mel Counts. Unlike my previous game, though, I'm not going to do a rebound putback. Just the standard rules, and that seems to run pretty well here. Counts with a 4, and it's a 2-point field goal. Defense AA shot missed. Well, thank you, Bill Russell, for making another miss for Mel Counts. That's a tough guy to shoot over. Give Russell another stop. Rebound. Offensive number 1, Gail Goodrich gets another rebound. The guards are rebounding really well for the Lakers. These little guards. Archie Clark with 12 rebounds, 7 for Gale. They don't have much depth on this Laker team. Elge, 7, looks good. Defense is B, though, and it's another miss, another stop. That's got to hurt. Elgin wanted that one. And Satch said no. Rebound, Bill Russell. So he's at 13 rebounds now. A little low. Their team rebounds are low on this game for some reason. They're at 41. I think they averaged in the, around 60. Well, let's see what it says here. 69. So a little low, but that's, once again, you play good teams, that stuff's going to happen. Ball goes to Sam, and the classic jump shooter hits. 113-102. That's a big hoop. 3 to 4 minutes left in this game. Archie Clark comes straight back with a pass, and that's going to be an official pass over to Gale, who'd been hot. 2 is a miss. Number 2 ball handling. Baylor turns it into a basket, though. One thing Baylor can do is pass and score. This time he assists Goodrich getting that basket. 113-104. They're on the outside looking in. Number 1 guard, unless he's a AAA. So it's a turnover for Havlicek, and Gail Goodrich gets it. Turnover, Havlicek. Good, he's going. 4, that's a miss. Number 1 ball handler. Nope, he's a D. No good by Gale. 21 points for Stumpy. Rebound, Tom Hawkins. Hawkins been pretty quiet this game, but he's not a huge scorer. Number 1 guard this time is Goodrich. His ball handling is a B. That doesn't matter. Turnover, Gale. We're in a turnover streak here. And that'll be Havlicek with the swipe. Havlicek's got 3 turnovers of his own. This quarter started off with the Lakers going on a 13-4 run. But this time it's Havlicek 7. 2-point field goal. Number 1 ball handler is a D, though. So once again, this has happened more than once this game. Bailey Howell forces that to miss. Rebound. Mel counts. And Mel's got the ball again. Down low. 2, miss. Number 1 guard. Nope. Not going to happen. Lakers. Mel's missed 4 in a row. So that was my bet. I put my money on Mel. Celtics still hitting 53%. Lakers at 49%. So rebound. Big Russ. Russell, I checked his age. He's about 33 during this season. Hands the ball off. Sam Jones, 9. Missed shot by Sammy. Rebound. Offensive number 1, that's going to be Bailey Howell. Howell got 8 rebounds. He averaged 9.4 on the season, so he's right in the range there. Back to Sam. That's another 5, another miss. But the number 2 forward is not going to help. Okay, Sammy misses. If it would have been Havlicek, that would have helped. Rebound. Offensive number 1, Havlicek's just a D. Despite averaging 7 rebounds a game, that kind of surprised me a little bit. He played a lot of minutes. Defensive number 2 card is a D. So Archie Clark is being Bill Russell from the rebound standpoint today. 13 rebounds and 20 points. Elgin, haven't heard from him in a while. 8, that's a 2-pointer. Defense, it's still good. Elgin, Baylor, 18 points, 113-106. We're running out of cards here. What do we got? 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. About 14, so we're 2 to 3 minutes left. Ball goes to Sam. And Sam goes up with a 5. That's a miss. And it's not good. Sam Jones not hitting since coming back. Neither is Havlicek. Rebound. Defensive number 2, Archie Clark. Give him another rebound. 14 rebounds for Archie Clark. And he's going to try and run, but he got called for the charge. Lakers needed a quick hoop, so I went for it. And Archie has 5 fouls. So he's got to watch it now. Center. Ball handling for Russell is a B. He gets to retain possession. And that's huge, even though he missed the shot. Number 2 guard ball handling, no good. Russell missed the shot. It's better than a turnover, though, on a breakaway. So 113-106 it remains. Rebound. Number 1 forward. Number 1 defense. Hawkins is only a C. Bailey's only a C, so it looks like Hawkins will get it. Kind of an odd thing where the small forwards both have B's and the power forwards have C's. Ball goes to Elgin. He's going up. 8. Potential 2-pointer. The number 1 forward has a D, though, and forces Baylor to miss. That's too bad. I need to get a better passer in there at the power forward. Rebound. Offensive number 2. And sure enough, it's Archie Clark setting a career high in rebounds with 15. Clark with the ball. 8. 2-pointer possibly. And it is defensive B. It's good. Clark hits. Have a game, Archie Clark. It is 113-108. Bailey Howell. 7. That's a pass. Defensive foul on Hawkins. So for Tommy, that's number 4. It's the 3rd team foul. They had 1-shot free throws back in the day, and that's what Bailey Howell's going to try and do. And Bailey drills it. Having a good game for Bailey. 27-8. 114-108. Lakers got to keep the pressure on. Big Elge. Baylor, 6. That's a basket, perhaps. He's checking his own ball handling, and it's not a miss. It's good. Elgin Baylor puts one in. He has 20. 114-110. Another turnover chance here. Yes, turnover by Tom Satch Sanders. That's Baylor with the steal. And he's going to take it coast to coast, and that's a 9. That's a miss. Number 2 guard cannot make it go, so Baylor will miss that shot. That would have made it really close. Rebound, number 1 forward, Bailey Howell. And heck, we're going to try and run it, because I like to run. And it's going to be Bailey Howell going all the way. 3, miss. Number 2 guard cannot assist it, so Howell gets a miss, a rare miss for him this game. He's shooting great. Rebound, Hawkins. Who are they going to go to in the clutch? There's no Jerry West. It's Elgin Baylor. Baylor goes up. 10, miss. But it says a defensive foul. Just think if he would have made the shot, it would have been a defensive foul and a basket. But it's a foul on Sanders, and that's 3 on Satch. 7th team, so we're going to have 3 to make 2 for Elgin Baylor. And that's a 10. That's no good. Oh, my goodness. A 9 is good. Here's a big one for the Lakers. 8, it's good. Elge with 22 points. We're down to basically just over a minute left. And the Celtics have gone into a funk. Ball goes to Sam Jones in the clutch. Sammy passes. That's a defensive foul for a DRF. No, it's a pass. Number 1 guard, Hondo. 8, 2-pointer, yes! Havlicek with a huge basket. 116-112. Baylor's got to retaliate right here. 8 could be good. It is. Baylor back down to 2 points. What a comeback by the Lakers, no matter what here. Center, Russell. See what he tries to do. He's going to pass it. Turnover. No, we're running out of cards. Number 1 guard, Havlicek. 9. He's going to pass it. Defensive foul. And that's on the defender, Gail Goodrich. And Goodrich has 5. And that's 4 team fouls. It's a one-shot foul for John Havlicek. And he missed it. John Havlicek, 82% from the line, missed the free throw. Rebound, Elgin Baylor. So what's going to happen on the final play here? Ball goes to Big Mel. 6 2-pointer. Looks good, but no. Bill Russell, with his double-A defense, forces a miss. Mel Counts misses for the 5th time in a row. Another great stop for Bill Russell. The second time in this 3-game set today where a defensive play changed the outcome of the game. Offensive number 1 forward, Hawkins. Defensive number 1, Howell. Howell will grab his 10th rebound. He averaged 9.4, so that is perfect. And this one belongs to the Celtics, even though the Lakers outscored them 34-22 in that final quarter. And I got to take a look at the stats, see if the field goal attempts are relatively close. We got 96 for the Celtics, who averaged 102. We have 95 for the Lakers, who average about 96 or 98. They averaged 98. So that's pretty darn close, reasonably close for both teams. Definitely adding those pace ratings made a difference. This is probably the most seamless of the methods for getting the field goal attempts close. I like it the best because it stays true to the original game. I worry with the offensive putbacks, even though it's a fun feature and is featured in many games, that it might create some oddities with some scoring. It's possible, but I think that one's a second option. Actually, my third favorite of these 3 is my own adding of the old game clock and count your shots PTG basketball style. I'm not sure the pace of the game didn't flow as well. So I would say this method I just did is probably number 1. The method where you take the offensive rebounds and put them back in the hoop is number 2, and PTG game clock number 3. Running down the stats for this one, that final quarter, Lakers outscored them 34-22, but it just was not enough. The Celtics, just for your information, I kind of put this under the blocks category. It was 12 defensive stops to 2. And it just goes to show you just how a guy like Havlicek or Bill Russell, and Bailey Howell has an A. They can stop just about anything. And that made the difference in this game, just the ability to stop where the Lakers didn't have that player. Jerry West is only rated a C. Baylor's rated an A. And see how many of only the 2 stops that I recorded, he got both of them. So that goes to show you how important that is. But the Lakers kind of dragged their feet, got down by about 17 in the third, and they almost made it all the way back, but they never ended up tying the game. So final score, 116-114. Celtics, Howell, 11 for 16, 27 points for the winners, 10 rebounds, 5 of 5 free throws. And Russell, 10 points, 14 rebounds, 5 assists. Havlicek, 9 of 22. A clutch basket in the final minute, 20 points. Sam Jones, 9 for 19, 20 points. Don Nelson, 7 for 10. Did have 5 fouls, but 14 points, 6 boards. Lakers led by Baylor with 24 and 9. 6 assists, couple defensive stops. Archie Clark, 22 points. An amazing 15 rebounds from the 6'2" guard. Jerry West, just 8 points because he fouled out, 4 of 8. Mel Counts, 6 of 20. Couldn't come through in the clutch. I don't know why the ball was being fed into the center so much with Bill Russell looming down there. That was a little frustrating, but he almost made a shot at the end. Unfortunately, the defense was Bill Russell's double-A defensive stop. Erwin Mueller had a good game at 10 points off the bench, and Gail Goodrich did his mini version of Jerry West, 9 of 15, 21 points, and 7 boards. There you have it. Final score, 116-114. Thanks for watching. This has been Rod's Tabletop Hoops.